Well, the movie Roma has been winning big this award season, actually.
That's right. Matt Perrin saw the film, and he shares his thoughts in your Monday Movie Musings.
Welcome to another Monday. Suffice to say, it was a pretty slow weekend at the box office. It was the lowest Super Bowl weekend since the year 2000 and the overall slowest weekend since September of 2017. That could fall on the fact that there was only one new wide release and it wasn't faring too well with critics. Glass took the top spot for the third week in a row, but still with some underwhelming numbers. I had no interest in heading to the theater to see Miss Bala, but unfortunately for the next 2 weeks they have multiple openings I want to see. I wish the studios had called me so I could have told them to move one of those openings up to this past weekend, but there was still a Best Picture nominee I hadn't seen, and I didn't even need to leave the house to do so. So without any further ado, here's my take on Roma. Our movie begins in early 1970s Mexico City. Cleo is a domestic worker for a well-to-do family. She does all of their cleaning and looks after the family's 4 children. Even though the family she works for seems like they have everything, you can see that there is tension between the father and mother, and we're not quite sure what's going on. We see that although Cleo is loved by her surrogate family, she yearns to have a life of her own. She is dating the cousin of her best friend's boyfriend and falling in love. But as tends to happen, Cleo discovers she is pregnant. Her boyfriend disappears and she is worried about losing her job. However, her fears are alleviated when her employer instead takes her to the doctor and helps her prepare for the arrival. Before long, we also see revolutions rising up in the area over land disputes. At one particular family gathering, we see the results of these disputes arise as the family's land comes under attack and they have to work together to stem the burning. We also see the violence escalate in the city as riots break out and people are killed in front of Cleo as she's shopping for a crib. As the movie progresses, we see Cleo trying to come to terms with her upcoming childbirth. She attempts to bring her boyfriend back and hopes for a family of her own. At the same time, we see her surrogate family struggling with the discovery of the father having left for another woman. Through a series of trials, we get to see the different definitions of families and how love can be shared throughout them. So, what to say about this one? First off, the movie is cinematically beautiful. In every shot, the entire screen is taken up with some element of action. Besides what's going on with the main characters, there is always something going on in the background that adds to the explanation of the way of life at this time and place. Alfonso Cuarón hits most of his staples with gorgeous soft natural light and water playing a major role, especially towards the end of the film. One thing I can't recommend enough, which is normally the opposite of what I say, is read the background on the film first. The movie's main character is a direct representation of a woman that helped raise Cuarón growing up. Knowing that definitely adds meaning to the watching of this film. What's funny about this movie, too, is that Cuarón, being the writer, director, editor, and cinematographer, shot the film chronologically, not allowing the actors to see that day's scripts until they were filming, which really makes their performances that much more amazing and heartfelt. Much like the director's previous film, Gravity, this one moves rather slowly, but is beautiful to watch. It's also in Spanish with English subtitles, so if you sit down to watch it, make sure that you can actually pay attention or else you're going to miss some key aspects. Normally, now I would tell you whether or not to rush out to the theater to see this, but since it's on Netflix, you don't have to. Feel free to take it in on your own couch. Just be prepared because it's neither the most upbeat nor up-tempo movie out there. This has been your Monday Movie Music. Back to you.
All right, stick with us. Tyler has one last look at that forecast coming up next.
That's right. The news at noon continues in just a few moments.